Okay, today is how to check and see if your horse is dehydrated, right? So if your horse is feeling punky, sometimes some colics are the result of dehydration, or if horses are getting heat stressed, they can be dehydrated, or like in Florida, our weather is hot, 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 cold front. So we don't have water heaters, and sometimes in the winter, our horses can get dehydrated. So a couple of quick ways to check the hydration. On the neck, you're gonna just pinch the skin between your thumb and your forefinger, and you're gonna pull it out, and it should snap back to normal. So his left a tiny little bit of a mark there. There was a little bit of a there was a spot where it was slow to bounce back to normal. So I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna pinch the skin on the neck. I'm pinching my thumb and finger together. I'm gonna tent the skin, basically. You're gonna tent the skin and then let it go. And very mildly dehydrated. I wouldn't say seriously dehydrated, but for our cold weather, our cold fronts, it's pretty normal that they can get a little dehydrated because we don't heat our water. So when our weather gets cold, our water gets cold and they quit drinking. So checking for hydration in the winter time is normally when I'm kind of checking the horses out to make sure they're not getting too dry. You can also pinch here on the shoulder. That's a little harder to grab, but you can do the same tenting here on the shoulder and see. So his neck had a little bit of a slower return to normal. On his shoulder, it's bouncing back immediately. So I'm tenting the skin, and when I let it go, it should just go right back to normal. When I do it on his neck, I don't know if you can get a close-up, but when I pull on his neck, I pull it out and tent it, and when I let it go, just that little spot there is a little bit slow to refill. So that tells me maybe I want to wet his food down. Like maybe I want to add some water to his grain in the morning or the night and just see if I can get a little more hydration in him. Maybe I want to add electrolytes or salt or something that's going to help him hydrate. Even like sugar and salt will increase hydration in the body because it helps with the absorption of the water. It increases the uptake of the hydration by over 50%, I think. The other thing I want to check is if I'm pulling here and I just have that little bit, if they're really dehydrated, that whole tent is going to kind of be really slow to restore to normal within more than 3 seconds, kind of like checking the capillaries and the gums. It should bounce back within 1 to 2 seconds. His one little spot's taking 3 to 4 seconds, almost as close as 5 seconds to refill. So that tells me keep an eye, maybe add salt to his food, try to keep him hydrated, just to keep an eye on his hydration. If you have a very slow refill or return, that whole tent took like 3 to 5 to 6 seconds to kind of restore to normal, then I'm also going to check the gums. And if the gums are white, or if I have that slow capillary refill when I push on the gums, if that white spot sort of sticks around longer than 3 seconds, or if the gums are whitish and a little bit tacky rather than slippery, then I have a more serious dehydration issue. So I might want to call the vet they can tube them with electrolytes, or I might try to get my horse to drink some molasses water, Gatorade water, sugar water, or put salt in the food, something like that, or soak the grain for a couple of days and see if I can't get him rehydrated.